Hi, I'm Miranda from Best Left, and today I'm here with.
Carly from Coral Moons.
And Justin.
Okay, so our first question. You release music videos for every single off of Summer of You. Can we expect more music videos once the album drops?
Ooh, that's a really fun question. I think we're always like trying to find different ways to visually represent songs. I think like Spotify Canvas, I don't know if you've noticed this feature where like if you click on a song on Spotify, you can like have some kind of like visual represented by the song on Spotify now. And I think it's kind of been like a fun way for us to start exploring. We've never really like thought about all of the songs in that way before. So we've been doing a lot of videoing for songs that we never really planned to make visuals for. So a happy surprise, yes.
Which music video is the most fun to film?
I would definitely say the Summer of You music video because we just went to an amusement park and had fun for a day, and that was, for me, my favorite.
Yeah, Justin and our drummer Kevin, their favorite thing to do is go to amusement parks. So the rest of us were just along for the ride.
Literally.
Literally for the ride. But yeah, I would agree with that. A good time all around.
What was the best ride you guys went on?
The log flume.
Oh yeah, the log flume was incredible.
The log flume was the best because our bassist Miguel, he was terrified to go on any rides all day.
Yeah.
And he mustered up the strength to ride the log flume with the there's also children riding on it. So I think that's what gave him the strength. But yeah, we all screamed the whole time.
We also didn't expect to get wet on it because normally on log flumes, you're kind of like, oh, it's not that bad. It's more about the drops or whatever. But this time, because we had 4 adults, full-size adults in the log flume, we were hit with a tidal wave on the first drop, and Carly and I were immediately soaked, and we were not prepared. Which was pretty hilarious.
Pretty sure we were over the weight limit because we were 4 adults on a children's ride.
It was a good time though.
Yeah, no regrets.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Summer of You is described as a summer anthem. Personally, what is each of your summer anthems?
Ooh. I think I know mine.
Yeah, you should go.
Can you guess what mine is?
Is it Chapel Roan?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan is my freaking jam right now.
Yes.
Golly, what have I even been listening to? I'm trying to remember. I've been listening to a lot of Paramore recently, randomly.
New Paramore or old Paramore?
Old Paramore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
So
it's been great.
Something off of Riot, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm so bad with singles. I'm mostly like a record guy, but I guess I've been gravitating towards like Midwest emo and like old school emo all summer for some reason. I can't even think of a single off the top of my head. My brain's blanking.
Let's just say That's What You Get by Paramore.
That song slaps.
All right. Sold.
Did you draw inspiration from various musicians or ideologies while like creating your album?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it was really fun. I guess that's kind of how we write the record. We all listen to a really diverse group of music. So when we come together, it all kind of like comes out when we're writing the songs. And I think like in particular for Poser, what was really fun with that song is that we really had no idea what we wanted to do with it until we got into the studio. And our producer was kind of doing, we were just doing live takes, whatever. And he ended up bringing out this effects pedal that kind of inspired us to go into like a Talking Heads direction. So that was kind of like one of the big inspirations for that song. And then I'm trying to think like also, I mean, Summer of You, that one also had a little bit of Midwest emo in it, almost like I want to say Turnstile, but not as heavy as Turnstile.
Yeah, definitely.
But like there were some like elements of like the riffs and stuff that kind of came out that were like, whoa, that's really cool. And it kind of, for me, it made the whole song.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like for the most part, we listen to a lot of like indie rock and like female fronted rock
True.
bands. Like I think at that point we were listening to Boy Genius.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
religiously.
lot, like a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like Talking Heads was also like we were covering a song from the Talking Heads. So it's just so ironic that sometimes when you're just like listening to a group of bands or a singular band a lot, it kind of like bleeds into your own songwriting in a really cool way.
Did you find the songwriting process for the LP to be a way of healing? If so, did this healing enhance the emotions and lyrics found in the songs?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I started writing the album like 3 years ago, like right after we were finished with recording our previous album. And we had just moved into this cabin in the woods in upstate New York. And I really wanted chickens and a big garden. So I think it'd be like impossible for me to not be healing at the same time of me writing the album. We just like gone through a lot of, for lack of a better word, shit. And it kind of came at like the perfect time that we moved here. And yeah, I definitely think you can hear it in the music. I mean, you can literally hear it in the music because we recorded just like some sounds from our streams and our birds that like to hang out here. And we have kind of a lot of that sprinkled in just to kind of like put you in the same place that I wrote the songs in. That felt like so relevant and special to us. But yeah, I feel like the music and this house went hand in hand and like coming to a close with the album. It like kind of starts out angry and resentful, and then it kind of like moves into a place of healing and like understanding. So yeah.
I love that. Correlating with your cabin, how did the cabin like contribute to the process? Do you think like things would be different without it?
Yeah. Just being less around people.
Yeah. We're not totally in rural area, but we're definitely away from people, which is nice. So we wanted to get this space because, well, we wanted to have like a big garden and all that, but then also build a studio space and have kind of like a place to retreat with the band and write and practice and all of those things. So we definitely have been feeding off of the inspiration of the cabin for the record and being able to be more creative and not like time crunched, which is oftentimes a problem with rehearsal spaces or whatever. So it's been really fun, and being able to do recordings. Like some of the tracks on the new record were actually recorded here when we sent it to our producer, our demos to our producer. When we got to Seattle, he basically just kind of took some of our stems and dropped them into the session file.
Yeah.
And the initial thought was, oh, it's just to get the vibe.
Yeah.
But then we ended up just kind of falling in love with the takes that from some of the session work here at the house, that we were like, oh, okay, like that just kind of is going to make its way into the record. And then so it's like a little thumbprint of this space.
Totally.
Which is
cool.
What have you learned about yourself throughout the creation of this album?
Oh God. I've learned nothing. No, just kidding. For me personally, I feel like it's resilience. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. I don't know if you're a musician, maybe you're just a music lover, but there's just so many things that can get in your way, like whether it's like your emotions, block you from songwriting, like there's so many steps to writing a song to then like getting it out and having people listen to it. And because there's so many steps, there's so many blockers. And I feel like every little thing and every step forward, there's always a step back. And I feel like, resilience. It's like, I will do anything to get this album so that people can hear it. And like walking through those steps with so many things like pushing us back and like really just making us question everything. I think like now that we're here, it's like, I would not change a thing because it was hard, but now it's all worth it.
How will you continue to channel your recent self-discovery into your art?
We've recently been demoing new songs outside. I don't know if this is just because like it's summer and everything about the outdoors is so gorgeous right now. But I don't want to be inside and I just want to be outside. And I think like now that we've written songs in the forest and like it feels like a part of us in a new way. And I think it would be cool to keep exploring that and yeah, have a recording studio outside.
It's so impractical.
This is the technical one.
Literally the
He's
most
just, yeah,
impractical.
But it's so cool.
Right? It's a vibe. Like it's all about the vibes.
Exactly.
How can you write a song if you're not feeling it?
It's so true.
That's true. But you also can't write a song without equipment. Well, that's not true.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can write a song
demo.
without
You can't demo
Yeah.
a song without equipment. But that's why you have extension cords. We have a lot of extension cords.
How far outside are we thinking? Like the forest or like in the backyard?
Okay, well, so we have like a grassy section of our backyard, and then it's like the forest. So I think like right on the cusp of the forest, but I'm willing to explore that. I'm willing to go a little deeper. One of our extension cords is like 300 feet.
It's true.
So like,
That could work.
yeah, like, I don't know. I think we could do it. I'm willing to try.
What sort of emotions were you trying to convey for the album cover? How does this picture encapsulate the LP in full?
Justin's the photographer, so
really-
he can talk a little bit about it.
We definitely were trying to. We felt like the record was a little bit more like angsty and had these ideas of just. I guess, like Carly was saying, it was a record that almost feels like a lot of the themes are around resilience, around I guess like deeper, more emotional.
Yeah, like they're
Like,
pop songs, but then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, oh shit. So
Yeah.
it's like there's something deeper under the surface that you're listening to, even though we've like wrapped it all pretty in something
Yeah.
that like makes you want to sing the chorus.
There's also just like a lot of like on the album art itself, we took it on a little point and shoot film camera like that we bought at the pharmacy, and we did that because we love like film photography, and the best part about film photography is just like the imperfections of it. You can't really get it perfect, and that like
It's
makes
like
it
blurry.
really like a lot of grain, whatever. So it adds just like a lot of depth to things. We did like a photo shoot and we landed on this one picture that just felt like it encapsulated a lot of the feelings that we were having around like the themes around the songs, and also it just felt like it fit the musical visualizations, if that makes sense. Like it just kind of like we felt that it was a good visual representation of the music we had just created, and we were trying to just feel a little angsty with it. We have some more pictures on the vinyl that that's on for
Like the
pre-order
back.
right now, where it's like we have a gatefold, so we have some more pictures from that session, and then also some like Polaroids in there of us in the studio. And so we were really trying to lean into this kind of like moody visualization.
Yeah, like the sky, you can't tell if there's like a storm coming or like what's going on with the clouds. And am I running away from something? Am I running towards something? Like there's so much depth and it could be so many things. And we picked like a bouquet of flowers just like from our property, like native flowers. And they're like beautiful purple asters that like only kind of bloom in August through September. So it's like a late summer flower, which feels like the music and the songs are like a late summer soundtrack. So, we're like trying to like tie in the environment with like all of the songs. And that was like a really fun way to do that, because like what what other like you can't tell what kind of flowers you're smelling on the table in a song. Like you can only kind of do that in visuals. So it felt really fun to get to explore that side of the songs.
Are there any songs off Summer of You that are specifically that you're specifically excited to play on tour?
We have a club song on it.
A club song?
Yeah.
It's like a mix. Well, I guess
it's kind of like Radiohead club.
Yeah.
But like, and
Disco
it's like
beats. Yeah, that one's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really fun, which is hilarious because we wrote it was like a really slow song, and then we got into the studio, and our producer was like, "This song should be a celebration," and he was like, "Let's add some good beats." And then in the studio, we were like, "Oh my God, we're in a club!" Like,
it's really fun.
Yeah,
I still dance to it when we
yeah,
hear it.
yeah, Sam. So I think that song is like highly anticipated from the band, like how we're gonna play that live. The band is located the rest of the band is in Boston, and we're out here in upstate New York. So we do a lot of like remote working together on like how songs are gonna sound live. But this one has been a little tricky for us.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of samples in it, like a lot of electronic drums. So yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, it's like the last song we have to figure out on the album. So should be good.
Can we expect a Coral Moon's mosh pit?
No,
Maybe.
yeah.
That'd
be like our dream. Even though it's still kind of like
it's
pop
pretty
songs.
poppy.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if the indie pop folks are down to clown.
Yeah, pretty funny. Pretty freaking funny.
I have one last question for you guys. So I saw on your Instagram that you mentioned that the title track is your personal favorite. This song specifically resonates with you?
Yeah, I don't know. There's like, I never meant for this song to turn out this way, but in the studio, it just kind of like turned into like, I don't know if you listen to like MGMT or like Phoenix. There's like something about those bands that just like all of their songs make you feel like you're on top of the world. And somehow this song, kind of like Summer of You, ended up in that realm. And I don't know how it happened, but me and Andy, our producer, were like, this is the one. And it's also really fun to play live.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my favorite. What's your favorite song in the album?
I think right now I'm really vibing with Summer View.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Specifically because
whole band favorite. It's Kevy's favorite too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's just so fun to play, and it just feels so good.
Yeah.
And there's so many different like sections and layers to it live that it just feels like we're telling a really fun story.
Yeah. And I just think of the log flume, but what are you gonna do?
I think of the Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
From Boston Calling.
Yeah.
Do you think like Summer of You is almost like a roller coaster?
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure. It's like, what's gonna happen? Like, oh shit.
Jaded's also pretty cool too.
Yeah.
That one's a cool one. The world hasn't seen Jaded yet, but that song is really fun.
Yeah.
Jaded was the catalyst of the record, right? Like it was kind of that song that you wrote and we were like, oh, this is the record.
Yeah.
Or was it Summer of You? I can't remember.
I don't know. It's hard because there's like so many songs written, and then you're like, okay, so what songs go together and what songs are the best, and how do I decide which ones go on an album? There were many songs thrown away.
Yeah, true.
But every song we recorded in the studio made it to the album, which is cool, which doesn't always happen. But
how did you decide like the order of everything?
It's kind of there are like some songs that are like catalysts. So we felt like Jaded was one of those songs that was like a catalyst. Like Summer of You is very like I'm just like getting away from this person that doesn't fit in my life anymore, that like, you know, maybe did me wrong, but I'm just like better than that, and now I'm finally like getting out. And Jaded is like goes into a little bit more depth about like why that person was awful, which is the second song on the album. So it was kind of like we're like dropping little like story moments like in chronological order. Like you know, like reflecting back, like this relationship was really toxic and like XYZ, why it fucked me up. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
No, you're good.
Okay. And yeah, and then it's kind of like you hear like Shrooms, which is like, you know, like a much more of a healing song. And
Which
it-
is the start of the second record? Or no, it's the second song on side B, right?
I think it's or yeah,
Because we did Arcade.
right.
But
But
I mean,
anyways-
even Poser too. Like Poser is about
Yeah,
like the self-doubt.
self-doubt,
So it's like you
yeah.
have the song of redemption, the song of like anger, and then you have the song of self-doubt about the
Yeah.
previous. So
Yeah.
we're trying to definitely tell this like chronological story
Yeah.
as best we could.
Yeah, totally. It's not linear at all. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, you're feeling great about removing this person from your life, but then, you know, 2 months later, you're like, oh my God, this is awful. And then it's kind of like goes back in circles. So it's like,
Mm,
it is a tumultuous relationship.
mm.
That's super cool though. I like how it's like a circular story.
Yeah. And you would never really like know. I mean, maybe you would, probably not though. Like,
I know. I'm wondering, like we unintentionally, like, kind of made it into this thing, but they're all related. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if we really hyper analyze the
Each one,
situation,
yeah.
it like you can kind of see this whole story kind of come together.
yeah.
But that's also from us hyper
Like knowing what's
focusing
going on.
on it for
Yeah.
2 years. And,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Finding new ways to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually all I have for you guys, but I had such a great time talking to you.
Yeah, you too. This was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
I don't even know
for-
what day it is. Is it Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good start to our week.
Yeah.
mine too. I will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.